One of the most heartfelt moments in Star Wars Return of the Jedi is when Anakin Skywalker's Force Ghost appears to Luke Skywalker on the forest moon of Endor, confirming to us as well as Luke that Darth Vader, Lord of the Sith, had finally been redeemed, and was drawn to the ethereal plane by his old masters in Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi. After this though, not much is known about Anakin Skywalker's Force Ghost specifically, as there's been seldom appearances of either Obi-Wan Kenobi or Yoda's in fact. However, we did see in The Last Jedi that Yoda's Force Ghost visited Luke Skywalker on Ahch-To, after the Grand Master reconnected with the Force after being separated from it for some time. But thanks to a recent Star Wars canon revelation, we learned a little bit more about Anakin Skywalker's Force Ghost specifically, and some of what he was up to after his physical death. In the Star Wars canon book, Secrets of the Jedi, we learn a whole lot more about Anakin Skywalker's Force Ghost, as well as Luke Skywalker's opinion on various subjects, including older Jedi such as Mace Windu and of course Yoda himself. But again, he also briefly talks about his father's Force Ghost here, and Force Ghosts in general as they have impacted his life. This book was written by a much older Luke Skywalker, so I just want to point that out. In the book, under the topics of spirits, Luke goes a little bit in depth about what it's like communing with a Force Ghost, putting it under the section of light side abilities. In the section, Luke Skywalker says that the spirits of Obi-Wan, Yoda, and his father Anakin Skywalker have guided him for many years during his time of a Jedi Master, and sadly that once he shut himself off from the Force, all three of the Force Ghosts vanished. But once he reconnected with the Force in The Last Jedi, although Leia was the first person that he sensed in the galaxy, he could then feel the presence of all three of these individuals, again including his father, Anakin. As Luke explained that Yoda, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Anakin Skywalker all guided him as sort of masters through his time as a Jedi Master himself, and taught him a great deal about the Force, including their own mistakes. Luke Skywalker says speaking with these three former Jedi, he can see past the glorified stories of the Jedi and the Jedi of old to find the truth about the Order, coming to the conclusion that if he is to be a pure and good Jedi Master, he must attain balance in the Force, not strictly adhere to the light and ignore the dark. In the book, he even says that Force Ghosts can somewhat interact with the physical world, as he's seen both Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi do in the past, and most recently we ourselves saw Yoda do this in The Last Jedi, interacting with the tree that held a lot of the first knowledge of the Jedi Order, and also sitting upon physical items, which we saw Obi-Wan Kenobi do in Empire Strikes Back. Anyway though, the revelation that this book shares is that Anakin actually stayed with Luke Skywalker past the point of Return of the Jedi, and that Luke could pretty much always feel the presence of all three of these Jedi, again including his father who had just become a Force Ghost, and that they had all stayed with him and guided him over his journeys and even the training of Ben Solo. In Legends, this was treated a whole lot differently, as the Force Ghost of Anakin Skywalker never really appeared to Luke very frequently at all, but I do like that in canon he is, and he's definitely a part of his son's life following his death. I'm also under the impression that Anakin taught Luke Skywalker a whole lot, not only about his past, but his own philosophies on the Jedi, and a lot of his greatest mistakes. It would also make sense that he would have Anakin Skywalker himself speaking in Luke's ear about how to take down the Jedi and combat the dark side of the Force. As of any Jedi, Anakin would probably know about this the best. But now guys, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Personally, again, this is an addition to canon that I really like. The idea that Luke's mentors never really left him, and that he could feel their presence yet again when he reconnected with the Force in The Last Jedi. Anyway guys, before you guys check off, be sure to check out the Star Wars merch page as there's a big sale for the holiday season. Link will be at the top of the description below. Again, may the Force be with you, and have a great day.